Now, even though Honda was the first manufacturer in the US to introduce a mass production hybrid vehicle back in 1999, their sales have always trailed their arch rival Toyota. Now, with Honda being an engineering company, today I'm in beautiful Napa, California, driving the completely re engineered 2017 Accord Hybrid. Now, if you guys can remember the first generation Accord Hybrid, that ran from 2005 to 2007. And when Honda introduced the Accord Hybrid back then, they really wanted the vehicle to be at the top end of the Accord lineup. And today, that still is the case for this all-new 2017 version. Now, the original Accord Hybrid sported a V6 engine and a kind of mild hybrid electric motor system. Now, that resulted in very good performance. It was a pretty stout 255 horsepower for its time, but kind of so-so fuel economy, basically getting the same kind of gas mileage that your four-cylinder neighbor Accord would get. Now, that all changed when Honda introduced the 2014 and 2015 Accord Hybrid. They basically followed suit with the Camry Hybrid's formula with a four-cylinder and a two-motor electric motor system that had the capability to drive the vehicle on electric power alone. That's something that the original Accord Hybrid couldn't manage. It was something that Honda was kind of lagging behind in terms of its competitors in that sense. Now, for 2017, Honda is completely refreshing the Accord Hybrid, and it basically has all the similar design changes that you saw on the 2016 Accord. And you can see this generation Accord is now in its 9th generation. The Hybrid, of course, is only in its 2nd generation. And you can see the design is certainly very recognizable as an Accord. Honda's made very significant improvements to the styling, to the fuel efficiency, and overall it's a very elegant and very timeless looking four-door sedan. Now, regarding the front end, you can see my particular one is the touring model. The Hybrid comes in 3 different trims, basically standard Hybrid, EXL, and then top grade touring like my Tester. It has full LED headlights in the front with LED daytime running lights, LED taillights out back as well. It goes with the overall technology theme that this top tier sedan, of course, is going to offer within the Accord lineup. Now, the Hybrid itself does have a couple of unique styling elements from the standard Accords. You have these blue accented headlights, a few hybrid badges, a slightly unique front end just to aid with the aerodynamics of the Accord Hybrid, of course. Now, coming around the side of the vehicle, the 17-inch wheels do come standard. I kind of wish Honda offered the larger 19-inch wheel option that you see on the beautiful Accord Sport and gasoline touring model, but they did this for fuel economy reasons. Personally, for myself, I would probably sacrifice an MPG or two just to get nicer looking wheels. These do look relatively nice, but for me, when you see the Accord Sport with those bigger wheels, it just really makes for a much more attractive looking sedan. Now, out back, like I said, LED taillights are standard on all the hybrid trims, even the baser models, and there's no dual exhaust like you're going to find on the gasoline touring model. Instead, you kind of have a single outlet hidden exhaust because this is a hybrid vehicle, so you kind of want to go with more of that environmentally friendly theme. Now, a couple of new features for the Hybrid for 2017. This particular one that I'm showing you is a new color. It's called Mandarin Gold Pearl. It's certainly a very striking color, especially out in the California sun. When the sun really hits it, it kind of reflects back an orangish gold flake. It's a very distinctive color. I like the color option that Honda has offered on the Hybrid just to make it a little bit more distinctive. And overall dimensions of the Accord Hybrid haven't changed from its gasoline counterpart. It still stretches about 194 inches long, about 109-inch long wheelbase as well. I mean, this is smack down in the middle of the mid-size family sedan segment. and it's honestly, it's the perfect size for a lot of you shoppers out there. Now, Honda is very proud of the fact that the Accord is the best-selling retail midsize sedan in the country. Even though the Camry outsells it, Toyota does far more fleet sales than what Honda does. And Honda actually did sell about 15,000 Accord hybrids for a year for 2014 and 2015. This year, for 2017, they are looking to double that number and claim spot as the best-selling midsize hybrid sedan in the country. Currently, the 2017 Accord, Honda claims, is the most powerful and most fuel-efficient midsize hybrid sedan on the market, with EPA ratings of 49 city and 45 on the highway. But enough about the exterior. Let's take a look at the inside and see all of the changes that Honda has made for 2017. Now, sitting at the hierarchy of the lineup, the Accord Hybrid comes with a lot of features as standard. Now, a push-button start and smart entry is standard equipment. To lock the door, all you have to do is keep the key fob on you, push this button here. That locks the door for you. The vehicle does have remote start if you guys want to use that feature if you live in colder climates. To unlock the door, just touch the back here, and that unlocks the door for you. Now, looking at the interior of the 2017 Accord Hybrid, it hasn't really changed too much from the generation when you first saw it back in 2013. Honda did upgrade the infotainment system. They did upgrade a couple of the materials in here, but overall it's pretty much roughly the same. Now, stepping inside the vehicle here, you do see the instrument panel is slightly different for the hybrid model. Shutting the door, it has a very nice solid thunk to it. It adds to the impression of quality for this vehicle for sure. Now, push button start, as I said, is standard equipment on all the trims. So all you have to do is put your foot on the brake here and then push the button to start up the system. Now, typically, the gas engine will not start up. It doesn't have the traditional starter hiccup noise. Instead, you need to look in the instrument panel and you need to see that little ready green display there. That'll tell you that the engine is on or the electric motors are on. It's ready to be driven. Now, at a glance, looking at this interior, you can see here the Touring model is the top trim, as I said, and it has pretty nice materials in here. The wood grain style trim is definitely new this year. You have this new piano black plastic trim, kind of brightening up the cabin, making it look a little bit more upscale, a little bit more Acura-like in here for sure. The door panels here, you can see chrome door handle, nice stitching on the upper parts of the door, more stitching here on the armrest. The windows are automatic up-down for both the driver and the passenger window. Nice feature, of course. The steering wheel has a little bit updated trim, new piano black plastic trim. Of course, you can see here lots of buttons. There's your audio control buttons here, your Bluetooth control buttons, your adaptive cruise control buttons here, and then of course the buttons here will control your different options here for the little LCD display in the center, or in between the speedometer. Now, looking at the rest of the interior, the quality of the materials, they're typical good soft touch grading material on the dash, on the upper portion here. It is hard touch plastic on the lower parts, but it's a very nice, pleasing grain material. Now, looking at this center stack here, you can see you still have that traditional twin two-tier storage, or I'm sorry, two-tier level here. Now, Honda did kind of update the way it works. It works pretty well now. It's not quite as confusing as before. You have the newest version of their Garmin-based navigation system. Honda did go to an outsourced company here, and you can see here this is the latest version of the Honda Link system. It does include Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. The Accord was one of the first in the mid-size family sedan segment to offer it. Up here is now reserved for basically just 3 functions. You use this little button here on the steering wheel. You can change it between this mode where it shows you a lot of information, your trip computer, navigation, music display. Push the button, it'll cycle to just music if you guys just want to show your music, and then this button again will just show a clock, or you can alter that if you prefer to just leave a clock up there. I will leave it probably on this screen for most of the drive. I like that it shows a lot of information here. You can see your trip computer is right there, your music control is right there. Now, the touchscreen response here is definitely improved over the previous version of this. The overall layout is pretty good. I really like the Android Auto Apple CarPlay that's standard on all the trims. The navigation function, as I said, works relatively well. It works basically like a Garmin. If you guys are very used to that, you're gonna like the system. The map quality is also much better than what Honda was putting on the previous version of their nav system. Now, one thing I do hate is the fact that they got rid of the volume and tuning knobs. I don't know why Honda keeps doing that. They really just need to bring back the regular knobs. That's what we want for at least the volume and the tuning. At least that's my opinion. Dual zone automatic climate control is standard equipment on all the Accords. So again, very nice high value quotient with the latest Accord. Down here you have a little bit of storage. You have a USB port there that's a quick charger function, which is interesting because the Navi models before had kind of more buttons down here, and it had like the older control knob. So Honda's gone away with that. They've gone with just all that touch screen here if you guys want to control any of the functions there. Now, a unique CVT is exclusive to the hybrid system, or the hybrid powertrain. It's got a B mode for engine braking. It's got a new sport mode that is new for 2017, along with the EV mode, where this vehicle will try to run in electric only mode for as long as possible. Now, putting the vehicle into reverse, you can see you do have a backup camera, which is all the way in the top screen. It does have trajectory. It does have the distance markers. You can change between several different views if you guys want to do that to your liking. Overall, it's a very good backup display. You still have the Honda Lane Watch camera system, of course, whenever you signal right. That replaces their blind spot monitoring, as you cannot get blind spot monitoring on the Accord. That's typically reserved for an Acura vehicle. Now, looking at the glove compartment here, it's damped. It's a very good size. Nice, very good storage in here. Heated seats are included. The leather is very nice. It comes on the EXL and Touring models. The seats are nicely bolstered. They're comfortable. There's nice padded armrest right here with some nice big cup holders, more storage in there, a power outlet, and another USB port. Now, the moonroof, like my tester here, does come standard on EXL and up. The base hybrid model will not include a sunroof, but overall, the interior of the Accord certainly has that upscale feel with enough unique hybrid qualities in here to make you, or to remind you that you pretty much bought a unique Accord. Memory seats are also included here, and overall, you're going to find the interior to be quite pleasant and nicely updated from the earlier night gen models. Now, checking out the back seat, the Accords always had a really roomy back seat, especially for the class, and the hybrid is no different. Stepping inside, you can see very good legroom back here, very nice foot space underneath the front seats. The materials back here, soft touch right there, soft touch where your elbows are going to rest. It is hard touch plastic on this portion where the front is soft touch, but that's okay. You can see here also heated rear seats are included, so it's a nice that Honda is now giving that to customers. There's nice rear seat air vents, and then of course dual map pockets. There is a armrest right here with some cup holders. The seats themselves, unfortunately, they do not fold down in any manner, so you are a little bit limited because of that battery pack. Now, checking out the trunk capacity of the Accord Hybrid, this is where the previous model had a pretty good storage. Now, Honda did improve the cargo capacity for 2017. There's now about 13.5 cubic feet. It's about 1 cubic feet larger than last year. They did this with smaller batteries, smaller, slimmer components. There is no spare tire in here. Instead, you get kind of like a fix-a-flat kit. And then, as I said before, the seats do not fold down in any manner. Now, under the hood of the latest Accord Hybrid, you're going to find the company's most advanced hybrid powertrain currently offered in their mainstream models. Now, this is a 2-liter 4-cylinder with the Atkinson cycle that you see as the gas engine. Honda says it's unrelated to any of the 4 cylinders they offer in their other vehicles like the Civic. It's not related to the K-Series or the R-Series in the new Civic. Now, this motor does not have direct injection despite the Earth Dreams badge. It does run on the Atkinson cycle. It has VTEC. It is double overhead cam. On its own, it produces about 143 horsepower, so not much horsepower. The electric motor, though, has a lot of torque, and it adds its own power. Now, when you combine both the motors output together, you're going to get about 212 horsepower and 232 pound-feet of torque. Now, that's pretty impressive numbers. That is 16 better versus the 2014 and 2015 model. It also makes this car the most powerful mid-size hybrid offering in the class. The Camry hybrid produces only like 200, so not by much, but at least Honda can get those bragging rights. Now, fuel economy is also tops in the class. It's rated at 49 in the city and 47 on the highway. Now, that is actually less than the 15 model, which was rated at 50 city, 45 highway. However, the EPA did revise the way they measure their fuel economy standards for 2017, which if you measure this car by the 15 standards, it's actually rated at like 50, 47. So Honda did improve the highway MPG by 2, and the combined rating, of course, is 48. That is pretty darn good, just a hair shy of that 50 mpg target. Now, this car weighs roughly about 3,400 pounds. It is only front-wheel drive. Let's get out on the road and see how it all works, shall we? Now, I have yet to show you guys a full review on the Accord Hybrid for this generation at all. I briefly drove the 2014 model when it first came out. I was pretty impressed with it. I thought it was basically Honda finally catching up to its competitors and offering a full parallel hybrid system that was able to drive the vehicle on electric power alone. Now, I really like the improvements that Honda made to the Accord lineup for 2016. I haven't showed you guys a full review of the gas model yet. Expect me to do that soon. However, with me being in beautiful Napa, California, getting a chance to show you guys this all-new hybrid, I couldn't resist to show you all the full Redline review of this very important vehicle for Honda. Now, I've pretty much had a pretty soft spot for this generation Accord ever since it first came out. I think that it's basically the perfect family sedan for a lot of people out there, and there's a reason why Honda consistently sells almost 400,000 units every year. Now, with the company trying to hit a target of about 30,000 hybrids, that's a pretty ambitious target. Let's see some of the changes the company has made to the 17 to see if they are able to meet those goals. Okay, so my initial impressions for the hybrid, it's certainly a lot peppier than I thought it would be. Now, with 212 horsepower, you know, it's not going to have a lot of power to overwhelm the front tires or to basically call this the drag strip queen for the midsize family sedan market. However, it will have enough power for most buyers, and if you're looking for something that's efficient, that's comfortable, that's a really great daily driver, the Accord Hybrid certainly may fit that bill. Now, in terms of all of its competitors, I've driven the Camry Hybrid, the Sonata Hybrid, not the latest Fusion Hybrid. Now, previously, the Fusion Hybrid was my favorite. Then I drove the Sonata Hybrid. I really liked the traditional automatic that the Sonata Hybrid offers. The Accord Hybrid certainly has its own strengths. The one thing that a lot of buyers will appreciate with the CVT is the response. When you put your foot down, it is pretty much ready to increase the RPM revs, really get the torque going for the electric motor, and it's a very nice combination. Now, there's no 0 to 60 time performance estimates because this car literally just went on sale last month, but I would estimate it probably would get to 60 in the low 7-second range, maybe even closer to 7 seconds. It's a pretty peppy car. It impresses me a lot for sure in terms of the acceleration. Now, because this has a CVT, you will have to deal with that constant engine drone. Now, those of you who buy this car probably won't drive it like a jerk the way I am, but I'm kind of just doing it for testing purposes. I want to see how the car feels when you need maximum acceleration. And the Accord certainly, it feels pretty good. Again, this is not something that you're going to want to drive aggressively. In fact, every time I did drive it aggressively, I felt like I was basically driving like an idiot. This car really feels the best when you're going to be driving it at 8/10 pace, basically, just in your normal everyday commute. Now, the brake pedal of the Accord Hybrid is probably something I want to talk about really quickly, because hybrids typically have a very weird feeling brake pedal. They're a little spongy because of the regenerative brakes, and Honda's done a good job with tuning the brakes. They did update the braking system for a little bit better response, and it recaptures that lost kinetic energy even better. And the brakes do have an initial strong bite, so you do have to get used to that. They're a little grabby at first, but overall the feel, I think the company did a really good job at getting that right. See here, trying to merge into fast-paced traffic. Basically, I had the accelerator floored there, and it's decent. It will keep pace, especially if you guys are trying to squirt your way into an opening in traffic. But when you're cruising down the road here at highway speeds, this is where the Accord Hybrid really excels. Now, Honda did make their Honda sensing system a standard equipment on all hybrids this year, even the base model. And you can see here, putting on the lane keeping assist, putting on the adaptive cruise, it does a really good job with following the car in front of you. It is a very conservative system. It tends to hit the brakes pretty early. It warns you annoyingly if you're going to hit something when you're clearly not close. But you can see here, combine that with the road departure mitigation, the active lane keeping assist, and the Accord Hybrid has a semi-autonomous driving function where it'll kind of just, you know, you have to supervise, but Honda says, in fact, all manufacturers say you have to keep your hands on the wheel, but it's very nice if you guys live in an area that's constantly congested with traffic. Now, Regarding the rest of the overall ambiance in here, seats are very comfortable, very good visibility, great side mirrors. There is no blind spot monitoring in this car. Instead, you have that Honda Lane Watch camera that doesn't really replace blind spot monitoring, but it's nice to have. But it's only on the passenger side. It's not on the driver's side. You're stuck with just a little convex mirror there to check your blind spot. But overall noise in the Accord is pretty class competitive. The company did reduce the road noise for this generation a few years ago. You do still hear it. It's not quite as hushed as some competitors. The ride quality is very good. With those batteries in the back, it has a very settled, very comfortable ride quality that's not floaty. It's firm. Yet it's very compliant as well. It's overall a very pleasant car to drive, especially if you plan to do a lot of highway commuting. Now, I do want to talk about the EV mode in this vehicle. Because this is now a two-mode hybrid system, you can put it in EV mode. When you have enough battery power, you can basically drive as efficiently as possible. Now, you're going to have to accelerate very slowly, and the gas engine will not come on until you really prod your foot. You can see here, people are passing me kind of upset because I'm accelerating very slowly, but Honda says this car will get up to 50 miles an hour on just the battery alone. So let's test that. Let's see if I can actually reach that. Gas engine still hasn't come on. You can look at the display right there to see if it's on or not. I'm at 40 miles an hour. Still, gas engine hasn't come on. Now people are getting pretty mad. I really need to accelerate. Come on. Okay, there we go. EV mode canceled at about 47 miles per hour. So it will get close to that 50, but honestly, you're going to be pissing off everyone behind you. So let's try to pick up the pace a little bit here. Now, fuel economy is probably something you guys are very interested in knowing what this model can actually get in the real world. Now, happily, I have been able to drive this vehicle around the Napa area pretty extensively. I've been driving around all day today. I've been here the last 2 days. And I'm happy to report that the fuel economy is pretty impressive considering the fact that I have a lead foot. Now, when I was driving the car kind of on a curvy two-lane road where it tended to stay very flat elevation, I was able to easily get 45 miles to the gallon in this car in those conditions. Now, that impressed me a lot. This car gets pretty good gas mileage in those kind of conditions. Now, on the highway, when I was driving back to the resort that I'm staying at, I did get about 37 miles to the gallon. Now, that falls pretty short of the EPA estimates, and hybrids, as you know, especially these kind of systems, are very much more efficient in the city where the gas engine will stay off. On the highway, I noticed that the gas engine comes on a lot more frequently. It's there to charge the motor, or the electric motor, to provide a little bit more assistance, so you will be using more fuel, of course. And those of you who have even more conservative driving nature, you're going to get better gas mileage numbers than me. I wouldn't be surprised at all if this vehicle would hit 50 miles per gallon or over that when you are basically in the right kind of conditions. Now, that being said, after driving several of the Accord Hybrid's competitors, you're probably wondering which one you think I believe is the best. Now, that's pretty hard to say. Now, personally, I do like the styling of the Accord Hybrid the most. I mean, I think it's a knockout in terms of the design. The full LED headlights are beautiful. The LED taillights look good. I mean, this is a car that looks like a Mercedes, looks like a BMW, honestly, from certain angles, and I really think it's going to age very well. The interior also is very nicely updated from the previous Accord. I like the newer Honda Link infotainment system. I hate the fact that there's no knob for the volume and tuning, but you can still use the steering wheel audio controls, and it's probably something you guys are going to get used to. So in terms of the value features, the technology, the Accord Hybrid pretty much hits the mark for me. Now, you're probably wondering what the pricing is of this latest model. Now, this Accord Hybrid did go on sale on June 15th, quietly, and the company said it's been doing pretty well in terms of sales. It starts at about $29,600 for the base model. Now, that represents a $300 increase versus the 2014 and 15 models, which honestly is a bargain considering all the new features that Honda gives you for this new hybrid. Now, my particular one, of course, is a lot more expensive. The Touring basically gives you the LED headlights. It gives you the navigation, it gives you the leather, the heated seats. I mean, this one is pretty much as loaded as you can get for the Accord Hybrid, and it's around $36,000. So this is, of course, the most expensive Accord in the lineup, but of course you are going to get the most technologically advanced and the most fuel-efficient models. Now, coming back to my original question, do I think this one is the best? I really do enjoy this Accord Hybrid. It's not a car that I would buy for myself. I do prefer the Sonata Hybrid for its stepped 6-speed automatic. It's traditional automatic. It has a more traditional feel. But for the typical hybrid buyers, you're really going to find a lot to like with the Accord Hybrid. So if you're in the market for this type of vehicle, I strongly suggest checking the latest one out. It just went on sale a month ago. But anyways, if you guys are looking to see the latest cars I'm testing, make sure you follow me on Instagram, like us on Facebook, and as always, guys, keep subscribed to the Redline Reviews YouTube channel for all the latest reviews that I'm doing. Hope you guys have enjoyed my overview of the 2017 Accord Hybrid. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next video.